Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the D Train of Buddy and D Train Talk Sports, and we're here to talk about sports with our man Josh. Lots been going on.
And
Once
Buddy,
again, on the D Train, that's Buddy, that's Josh. Guys, how you doing?
doing good, are
I'm
you?
pretty good, man.
Doing good. Same old, same old. Got out of work, put on my son's jersey. They're 3-0 in the bubble. We'll talk about that in a bit. Go Devin Booker. Go Ricky Rubio and the lads. And got a lot of stuff in the NFL. Guys opting out, some guys getting signed, some guys getting cut. We'll break that down in a bit. A little bit going on in the NHL. The Rangers getting eliminated, and the Islanders lead 2-1 in this series. Hopefully, they can close it out soon. And then, obviously, the real meat and potatoes of today's episode and of the sports world, we have the MLB, Major League Baseball, all the controversies, all the wild stuff that's happened in the past week, and we'll try to catch you up on all of it. A lot to get into today, folks. Guess we might as well start with the biggest thing affecting the New York sports world right now. Yoenis Cespedes opts out in a very strange way. Doesn't tell the team, just ups and leaves, and bye-bye Yoenis. It took a little while for them to realize that he had opted out. Apparently, Brandon Nimmo was one of the people Yoenis had told ahead of time. It's a really bizarre situation. It's very zany. It's very New York. Buddy, you're the Mets fan on the panel. What's your take on losing Yoenis?
Well, honestly, I feel like I don't know what to say. It's a complete shock. You look at Yoenis Cespedes and what he's done over the past 3 years, maybe 4 years of that contract when he signed that 4-year, $88 million contract. You look at it and he's really done nothing but just sit on the shelf as the Mets have been playing without him and just developing and just being a different team without Yoenis Cespedes having that, like wanting to have that player, that impact type player like Yoenis Cespedes. The thing is, he hasn't been able to been like that because he's been injured. You look at what he's done. He's been very selfish, in my opinion. And even Sal Licata on SNY even said it, like where he's chosen himself over his teammates. You look at the Boer incident, like he's supposed to be recovering, he's supposed to be in rehab. What are you doing on your ranch? And how does a Boer get in this? Like, it's just a weird Mets thing. You can't make that up. And he's honestly done nothing but collect money while staying on the shelf. So, in my opinion, I feel like it's good that Yoenis Cespedes leaves because you can see how he's been a head case. I don't know how you say you want to do all these things. You want to be this. What's going on? You good?
Yeah, no, I peeled the label off my drink earlier, and then I didn't realize part of it was stuck. Maybe continue.
Oh, good. Yeah, no, but like I just don't understand how you say you want to do all these things, you want to do good, and then like you just randomly, leave your hotel room, opt out. Like when I heard about that, I honestly thought he was like kidnapped, or something happened to him. I'm just saying, it's like, sure, you want to opt out, you want to leave, sure, go ahead, but have the decency and have the courtesy and the respect, and not to be rude, to just tell your manager and your organization that you don't want to play anymore. After this organization has given you millions of dollars, loved you, the fan. I'm just saying, like, I just don't think it was the way to leave. And I don't know how you guys feel, but I'm just saying, coming from a Mets fan, I thank Yoenis Cespedes for the good times, especially in 2015. I thank him, but I think it was time to move on. I don't know, and Yoenis Cespedes should play for another team.
Well, before we get to Josh, that's something that I'm glad you kind of touched upon, and that was the way the Mets PR department handled it was so bizarre. What Yoenis did obviously wasn't normal, even in the new normal. But the way the Mets PR department handled it was so bizarre. They announced a statement saying they had no idea where he was. They haven't had contact with him, and people really thought the worst. They really thought that it was almost like a Jose Fernandez incident or something like that. That this player goes missing, and then you're going to find out he's dead. So a lot of people were very nervous just to find out that he abandoned ship. And I understand on his part he shouldn't have done that, but I really think the Mets should have waited a little bit longer and probably asked around, because it sounded like Brandon Nimmo was kind of shouldn't say in on it, but he had known that Cespedes was intending on opting out. But I think Nimmo thought that he had told the organization, but he didn't. The whole thing is very bizarre. Josh, what's your take?
Honestly, I think it's just more about communication, and everybody has to be able to communicate, and I feel like just as bad as it is that your team doesn't know what's going on, it's worse on the person, because if you know you have an idea that you're going to opt out, you leaving in the middle of the night, not letting anybody know, is the worst thing you can ever do. Because the thing is, not only have you shown your team that you're not committed and you're not all about communication, but you've shown the whole baseball world that you lack communication with people. And the lack of communication is something that people don't really handle fairly well. So I feel like both sides really should have been on the same type of term. So I just feel like both people, I feel like they should just do better. The organization and the player, they have to be better on. And you have to have, I guess he didn't have that feeling where he could talk to them about that, which is even worse. So it's kind of where I feel on it.
Yeah, and that's another thing, was a big reason why the New York Mets, I think a lot of people felt, hired Brody Van Wagenen to be the general manager of the New York Mets, was because of his relationship with Yoenis Cespedes, because he was his agent for so long. And not just Yoenis Cespedes, but also obviously to attract free agents. But going back to 2015, after that World Series run, which they had come up short against the Kansas City Royals, they pretty much had to choose between Daniel Murphy and Cespedes, because
that was not a good decision.
they didn't want to spend the money. The Wilpons didn't want to spend the money. They picked Cespedes because Daniel Murphy wasn't a good defender. I thought we were playing baseball. This isn't, not for nothing. I don't think you need an entire team of Gold Glovers, but
honestly, looking at that, honestly, I didn't think of that now, but honestly, I just want to touch upon that really quick. Honestly, think of that. You think that they really chose Yoenis Cespedes, a guy who really hasn't played in the last couple of three, not just the first year of his contract, but 3 years. And you look at Daniel Murphy; he's been with that organization since 2008. That was the last year of Shea Stadium. And so you think of it, they really chose a guy that was with them for like half a year over a guy that's been with that organization, raised from top to bottom. Honestly, look at that. That's just really shows how the Mets treat their players.
And Daniel Murphy really carried that organization into the playoffs. Their pitching was obviously dominant. Syndergaard, DeGrom, Matt Harvey at his best, obviously until Game 6. But
it was Game 4. Well, Game 5 was when Matt Harvey pitched and he didn't want to get taken out. Game 4 was when Murphy had that error. I feel like maybe that's why the Wilpons. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, let's call it how it is. Not everybody has to be Ryan Sandberg or Robinson Cano or some other Gold Glove second baseman. I mean, if you're the best part of a team's offense, I kind of feel like that could be overlooked a little bit. And then what did he do? He went to the Nationals and became a New York Mets killer. So I guess live and learn. Don't hand your biggest secret weapon to your biggest enemy. And I think a lot of people were very optimistic about Cespedes. And it sucks to hear Met fans kind of express how sad they are that everything ended the way it was, because I remember how happy everybody was in 2015 when they got to the World Series. And I'm a big Yankees fan, but I was rooting for the Mets in that series because, I understood where a lot of Mets fans, a lot of their troubles were coming from, because I was friends with a lot of Met fans. So I wanted them to be happy. And it was just so sad to see them lose. And then it was even sadder to see them lose their favorite player, Daniel Murphy. It was so sad to see Matt Harvey fall off a cliff, philosophically. And then see Yoenis Cespedes and all that drama, the lack of games he played. And, it just sucks. And then I even feel, to fill that void, they hired Billy Hamilton. And I really don't think that's going to fix the problem. I think what they need is somebody that can drive in runs. I think they need somebody that can hit. I think they need one of the most entertaining players in the league, who is still a free agent,
Yeah, I know who you're gonna say.
Yasiel Puig.
Yes,
The
yep,
fact that
yep.
Yasiel Puig isn't on a team right now is a crime against baseball, in my opinion. And I think he would have fit exactly what the Mets needed because he's Cespedes, but better.
Yeah, on it. Well, he
So,
can play.
He's
As long as you play him, then
the
yeah.
one thing you can't say about Puig is that he isn't competitive. I mean, he's ridiculously competitive. He runs out every ball. He'll steal bags. He's got a cannon for an arm. Everything that you'd want. And I understand he strikes out a lot or whatever, but let's call it how it is. Yoenis Cespedes wasn't exactly Ted Williams in the plate either.
Nah, I mean, I just want to say that like it's like when you had to choose between Cespedes and Murphy, you really saw how that turned out, and that was not a good decision.
Yeah, and the Cubs recently picked him up, but I thought the Mets should have looked into getting Derek Dietrich too. Derek Dietrich was great for the Reds last year, and another very exciting player. Good bat, good fielder. I thought that Dietrich would have been a good pickup for them, but the Cubs had taken him up as a little bit of insurance. And I get it on their ends, but I really want to see Dietrich get some starting time. I don't want to see him on a AAA team waiting for somebody to get hurt or sick. Yeah, I don't think their team. I don't think their issue is base running. And Billy Hamilton is probably a nice guy, but all he really is a base stealer and a base runner. He's a glorified pinch runner. But we'll see. I could always be proven wrong. He stole a bag today, got 300th of his career on Wednesday the 5th. But, I mean, I really don't think that's what the Mets needed. And then, obviously, their bullpen's been a disaster. Seth Lugo, who's the only good thing about that bullpen last year, got beaten up the other day.
He looked good today. He pitched 2 innings.
Yeah, he looked good today. He looked very good today.
Strikeouts. He saved the game.
Yeah, and I'm happy he saved the game. That's fantasy points for the New York Mambas. We'll take it.
Yeah. Josh, how are you feeling? She's still here. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm just looking at some stuff.
All good.
Yeah.
But all right, I feel like that covers the Cespedes topic. Tell me about the New York Yankees. I know the Yankees have been electric. I know Aaron Judge won AL Player of the Week.
One caliente, hot, in Espanol. That's what this team's been. Hot. This team has been an absolute heat, electric, whatever you want to say, whatever synonym you can think of. That's what this team's been. They've been phenomenal. They're swinging the bats. They're pitching the pitches. They're doing everything they need to do. The bullpen's looking all right. Paxton had a bad start for us the other day. But then you know what happened? Big bat time. Next man up. DJ LeMahieu hit a bomb. Gardner is starting to get in rhythm. I mean, like, dude, they got all-stars playing on their bench right now, man. This team's gnarly. I mean, I'm thinking of all the damage they're doing, and Gary Sanchez is hitting, last time I checked, .081 or something like that, or 91. Dude can't hit the broadside of a barn at the plate, and this team's still crushing people. I love it. I love it as a Yankee fan. Are we going to win the World Series? It's too early to call. I'm very nervous about the Dodgers, but I'll tell you one team that I'm even more nervous about than the Dodgers is the Minnesota Twins. I understand everybody's going to say, oh, well, their starting pitching is old. Dude, Kenta Maeda, beast. I have him on both fantasy teams. Beast.
The Twins
Rich Hill,
the
ageless wonder. Dude's like 42 years old. Heat. Speaking of another ageless wonder, Nelly Cruz. Nelly Cruz is walking around in a freaking walker and one of those little stair lifts. That's how he's getting around the bases, and he's swinging the bat, leading the league in ribby. I mean, that team has big bats, man. Max Kepler, leadoff beast, the German. I mean, that's just absurd. And then obviously you still got Josh Donaldson. I think he's starting to kind of get in rhythm now. They got Miguel Sano. They got other guys I'm not thinking of right now. But I mean, dude, that team, top to bottom, they look good, man. They look sharp. And then the White Sox, they're starting. They're a young team, but they look good. They look fun. They look promising. The Indians look good. They got that good. They got that good pitching. Shane Bieber. I mean, I was expecting Shane Bieber to do good, folks, but like this good guy, I understand they it was a little tough yesterday against the Cincinnati Reds in the Ohio Cup, but they still got the dub. That's all that matters. They're
Yeah.
looking real sharp. They're looking real sharp. And then obviously the Astros, that lineup is still sketchy, but losing Osuna for a while, that's going to hurt. Verlander is going to be done for a couple of weeks. We'll see if he's healthy enough for the postseason. Some reports have said he's done for the year. Other reports, his own reports, he said that he's going to be done by the end of the year. Our resident Astros fan is shaking his head. Am I misinformed?
Mr. Verlander, Mr. Clutch himself says he is not done for the year, and that's the only opinion that matters to me, is the guy that actually is going through what he's going through. He said he's not done. He said that people are just talking. He's like, but he's not done for the year. So he said he said he can confirm that he's going to be out a couple of weeks, but he's going to be back. Dusty Baker has also said he's going to be back. So I'm not too really worried about Justin Verlander. So, he's just going to be out for a couple of weeks. So we're all good there. But, yeah, Osuna, that one hurts a little bit. But we should be fine. I mean, we still got a pretty good pitching core. A lot of our younger guys are actually surprising people. So we'll be okay.
That's good. That's good to hear. That's good to hear.
We have breaking news from the New York Yankees game right now.
Is it really?
Yeah, Gary Sanchez just got hit on the elbow. He's going to take his base. It looks like he's okay, but it was a little scary there for about 2 or 3 minutes. He was getting looked at by the medical staff, but it looks like everything's all good. Got a little worried. They were talking about injuries with the Astros, and then you see your catcher get drilled in the elbow. It's a little nerve-wracking, but it looks like everything's looking okay. He took first base, and it's 2-1 Yankees over the Phillies right now, top of the 7th.
I feel like a player right now that's been insane for the Yankees has been Gio Urshela. Now, Yankee fans that I know have been bragging about him. And so, DJ and Josh, what did you guys take on Gio Urshela? Because I feel like he's a Yankee player that I feel like fans are going to love for a long time.
Well, he's 8 for 17 in his last 5 games. Dude's on a tear. 9 ribbies. I mean, he's killing it. You put him in the lineup, and the crazy thing is he's on the back end of that lineup. And he's putting up 9 ribbies in 5 games, 8 for 17. Oh, good Lord. Good golly, Miss Molly. Then he got Aaron Judge. I don't know if he hit a home run earlier. Once again, I kind of rushed on here from work. But Aaron Judge, obviously, as of now, a 6-game home run hitting streak, tied with Bill Dickey and Lou Gehrig for second place in New York Yankee history, behind Don Mattingly's league-leading 8 consecutive games with a home run set in, don't quote me on it, 1986 or 1987. But I really hope he does it. I really hope he beats Don Mattingly's record. Nothing against Donnie Baseball. He should be a Hall of Famer. He's not. It's a crime against American culture. But I really want to see Aaron Judge break history again because he's a beast. He is a leviathan amongst plebeians. And I just love seeing him swing the bat.
I just love seeing baseball, period. I'm glad to know that baseball is back. I just got to make sure that everyone is safe.
Thanks. I do miss our Long Island Ducks, though.
Yeah, that season's canceled.
Yeah, I miss smelling the bratwurst,
Oh, wow,
the popcorns. I miss hearing the Quacker Jack.
And 1-run scores.
But one of the last big things for baseball has obviously been the COVID outbreak. Obviously, we have the the Miami Marlins, they're back. We're talking about some free agent pickups that we would have liked to have seen the Mets got earlier. The Marlins, on the other hand, they had to pretty much restaff their whole team. Don Mattingly, the manager of the Marlins, who we were just talking about, Yankee legend, said that most of the guys on the team he hasn't even met before the other day. And Logan Forsythe is their big pickup. Obviously, some other pitchers and whatnot and hitters, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But, yeah, they almost got a whole new team. And guess what? They were competitive yesterday with the red-hot Baltimore Orioles. I can't remember if they won or lost the game, but it's good to see them on the right track of things. Miami, what do you guys think about them? Do you think a team that's overcome so much adversity and has so much heart? Do you guys think that they have a real shot? Josh, what do you think about the Marlins?
Marlins.
I mean, we've already discussed. I think it was maybe like a couple of weeks ago. We were discussing. I put them in there as a team to watch out for, and I still feel the same way, honestly. So, I mean, if they can keep doing what they're doing, I feel like they're definitely a team to watch out for. And I said it first, so I want everybody to remember this. If they go far, Josh said it first, to watch out for them boys. They look really good, and I honestly I hope that they keep it up. They're a team that hasn't really been good in the past. So I feel like right now they're making their city really proud. So they just got to keep it up.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that last year they're a team that, no one really, I don't think, wanted to watch at all. I'm sure that if you saw the Marlins on the TV, you'd probably turn them off last year. But you see how they are. I feel like, even in the beginning series against the Phillies with Bryce Harper and Joe Girardi and all those other players, they just, they were really competitive and they were playing good. And I remember Detroit was like, yo, Marlins are winning, like really. So, you look at them, they've had great players over the years. They had Derek Dietrich, Christian Yelich, who was like MVP, and he almost had a triple crown. And he almost could have went to the World Series. And Jose Fernandez, God rest his soul, D. Gordon, just so many good players on that team. And just, you see how they're playing good now, just from where they were last year. It's good to see them overcome that hump. Now you got to see that keep going. You got to keep that train going.
And even historically, I think people downplayed the bizarre franchise that is the Florida/Miami Marlins. They have 2 World Series rings. People forget about that. They walk around with some hardware from '97 when they beat Cleveland, and then in 2003 when they beat
the Yankees. Yep, they beat the Yankees.
As I weep. And they've historically they've been a pretty good team. So I'm happy to see, because when they do good, their fans come out. Same thing with Tampa. Tampa always gets trashed on for having, more road fans than home fans at their games, especially when the Yankees and Red Sox are in town, and Mets, teams that play in the New England area, because a lot of people retired Florida and Tampa and that region. So people trash on them. But when they're in the playoffs, guys, it's one of the toughest playoff atmospheres, not just in baseball, but in sports. They never go out in the first round. It's remarkable. They always get to the very limit that they can go. If it's a best game, if it's a best out of 7 series, bet your bottom dollar they're going to game 7, win, lose, or draw. And it's very interesting to see when those teams do good, it's good for baseball. So I'm happy to see that the Marlins are heating up going into the season. Don Mattingly said, look, these guys, they may not have the best fundamentals, but these are some stellar athletes. And, even Eddie Alvarez, who's been a big story from the Miami area, playing on the Marlins, and an Olympic gold medalist.
Olympic gold medal.
Ski racing or whatever it is. They have the ice skates and they race each other. I don't know what it's called. I'm forgetting it right now. But a gold medalist from the Winter Olympics is on the Miami Marlins. Dude can do Ozzie Smith backflips. They were showing it on MLB Central this morning. It's nuts, man. It's nuts. So I'm happy. That's a team, man. You got to be careful because their lineup is trying to be comprised of almost like that 80s Cardinals team, that it's a track game when you play them. or that 2014, 2015 Royals teams that every single guy can steal a base. I mean, I think even Billy Butler was was grabbing bags in the postseason for those Royals, man.
It's
Like
all about that takeoff, baby. All
yeah,
about that takeoff.
so I mean, that's a team that people are sleeping on them, but in a 60-game season, if they're going to be running the base paths and going for broke every single time they're on the base paths, these guys that are all trying to prove it, I mean, they're getting called up as I guess in football almost like scabs, right? For like lockouts, that kind of a thing. When a lot of guys are down for a team, and, the homeboys from the YMCA start playing.
Yeah.
that's what they are, and that's what they. If these guys get hot, I mean, they're playing with a huge chip on their shoulder. People are saying that they're ruining baseball. Supposedly they're getting dirty looks. People yelling stuff at them in the hotel, cursing them out and whatnot. I mean, they're being looked at like the big dead wolf of sports right now, and you know what? They got a chip on their shoulder. They can do something. And DJ LeMahieu's up to bat with bases loaded. I have him in both fantasy leagues, so this is a nail biter, boys. But I think that's kind of it for the Marlins. Go Marlins! I'm all for it. They're still second in the National League East. Get fishy with it. I fully support it. Josh, it sounds like you support the Marlins. You're fishy with it, and it sounds like Brandon is fishy with it, and I like it.
Get fishy with it. I like that. Yeah, we gotta copyright that. You gotta copyright that.
Hashtag get fishy with
it. Yes, sir.
But I feel like that covers. I feel like that covers most of baseball until we got. Oh, well, first off, we got to talk about the Cardinals.
Yes.
Weren't we supposed to talk about Aaron Judge? I believe
we did. Oh
no,
Josh!
I talked about Aaron Judge.
Josh, you're right. You struck out.
But Dennis brought up a very interesting thing about if we feel that he's the face of baseball, because there was I forgot who it was, Dennis, that said it.
Mark DeRosa from MLB.
So he was saying that he's the face. He believes that Aaron Judge is the face of the Yankees. So we were all supposed to go around
this is the MLB.
Give our this is MLB. So we were supposed to go around and just say what we think.
Well, first, before we do that, I feel like we should talk about the Cardinals and how the coronavirus has infected them. I mean, impacted them in every single way. Yadier Molina came out and said he was one of the 13 players that was diagnosed with coronavirus.
Oh yeah, I remember saying that. Yeah.
So pray for him and hope him and the Cardinals are doing good and doing well and they're staying safe, especially everyone of the families. But and everyone else in the MLB is staying safe. So all right. Let's cover that. So if you guys had to pick a player right now, and besides Aaron Judge, who else do you feel like would be the face of the MLB? You can get a deep thought. Yeah, you can think hard. Yeah.
I think. Ready for this?
Go
On
ahead.
this date, remember this date, August 5th, 2020. I said it. In 10 years, Kyle Lewis is going to be the face of Major League Baseball.
Kyle Lewis.
Kyle Lewis of the Seattle Mariners. Dude's on a tear in the Mariners. They're one of their best hitters since Ichiro. A lot of people are. I mean, the guy's just at bat after at bat. The guy's getting better. I mean, he's like freaking Broly from Dragon Ball Z right now. He's on a tear, and he's leading a pretty lackluster team, and he's clubbing good pitching, man. He's clubbing good pitching. So I really think that he has potential to be it. I think he's cool. He plays with like a kind of a swagger and whatnot. I like it. I could see him being up there. Fernando Tatis Jr. obviously can be in that conversation. Kyle Lewis down the road, but right now Fernando Tatis Jr. I want to see playoff success. I at least want to see a playoff appearance. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Same thing. I think that entire Blue Jays team reminds me of almost the Yankees a few years ago. when they had Gary Sanchez, Aaron Judge, Tyler Austin, and all those guys, Greg Bird. The Blue Jays kind of remind me of that Yankees team in 2016, 2017 range, but with their version, which is Kevin Biggio, Bo Bichette, Vlad Guerrero Jr., Teoscar Hernandez, and probably other guys that I'm forgetting. But they're Vladdy Jr. I can see kind of being a face of baseball. Christian Yelich, I can see. I mean, like, there's a lot of elite guys. The only reason why I would personally say Aaron Judge is the face of baseball is you got to have postseason success. You just do. Trout's, I think his only time in the postseason was 2015 or 2014 or something.
Yeah.
I mean, you need more than that. And, I mean, you're not exactly going up against Murder's Row in the American League West right now, or just in the western region of baseball in general. They got to get to the playoffs. I understand their pitching is – to say their pitching is horrible is an understatement. Okay, I'm pretty sure Pablo Sanchez and the boys from Backyard Baseball can do better. But, I mean, like, Shohei Ohtani's done pitching for the year. You know, if your pitching ace is also your third or fourth best hitter, they need work. And honestly, as much as I like Mike Trout, I'm kind of sick and tired of waiting for him to get into the postseason. I understand you can be the face of baseball or the face of a sport without even having a championship ring, but at least try and get close to, at least have playoff success. I mean, Ted Williams didn't win a World Series ring. Carl Yastrzemski didn't win a World Series ring. Ken Griffey Jr. didn't even have a World Series appearance. But, I mean, at least try and get deep into the playoffs. But Trout's only been in the playoffs once. He didn't get deep. He got bounced in the first round. So, I mean, honestly, I kind of feel like, yeah, your time was up. You're the best player in the league. To be the face of a league, I really need more. I need more of a narrative other than to say, you're the reincarnation of Mickey Mantle, only not a switch hitter. I mean, yeah, I have no disagreement with what Mark DeRosa said. I'm also a diehard Yankee fan and a complete homer. You know, if you're a New York team, I'll pretty much always root for you, even if that's the Sabres and the Bills. But I mean, like, yeah, you gotta, a big market team. I mean, everything is right. It's just the truth that nobody wants to hear. People take Aaron Judge. The regular people on the street take Aaron Judge more serious than they take Mike Trout. It is what it is. Not every truth is nice to hear, but that's the fact.
Yeah. That's very true, yeah.
Are we all in agreement on that? I thought that was going to be like a hot take. I guess not.
You honestly just probably said what we were probably all going to say.
Oh, you guys agree with me?
Yeah, I mean, Mike Trout, he is without a doubt. I mean, he's shown power to be, take the league by storm. But you look at it, he hasn't done anything World Series wise. Like, he's like, people compare him to like that MJ type play level, right? Am I right? Doesn't he play that good?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think anybody puts him as like the GOAT of baseball. I think his comp is
paid
more
like the GOAT. He's paid like it.
Yeah, he's paid like it, but people aren't putting him in the conversation of Hank Aaron or
I would love to have Mike Trout
or Willie Mays or Babe Ruth or Lou Gehrig. He's in the conversation with Mickey Mantle. Obviously, that's still huge, but I mean, much like Mickey Mantle, he's the best player in the. Oh wow, the game's over already.
What?
Yankees won 3-1.
I guess because of the doubleheader.
Oh, you're right. It's game 2. I didn't even realize that. But oh wow, yeah, I had no idea they played 2 games today.
But like, like he's paid like MJ, but he doesn't have that MJ type success. He's compared to him, but he doesn't have the success. So I agree with what you're saying though, D-Train. Josh, what do you think?
I'm gonna tell y'all like this. Y'all know me. Y'all know who my team is. When Aaron Judge first came in, I wasn't really the type of guy that really paid attention to other teams. I'm not gonna lie, I'll be straight up honest with you. But for some reason, I kept hearing about this Judge guy, and I'm like, yo, who is this guy? I had to look him up. And I'm just saying, judge this, judge that, judge this, judge that. Oh, court, come to the courtroom and judge. And I'm like, dude, who is he?
All rise.
And honestly, it all rise, all that. And so I'm looking, I'm like, who is this guy? And I look him up and I start watching him. I'm like, yo, this guy is going to be a problem. And he still is. I mean, didn't he just tie a record, I believe?
I don't know how many home runs he hit today, but because I was at work. But going into today, he was 6th for the New York Yankees consecutive home run streak, tied with Lou Gehrig and Bill Dickey. And number 1 all time for the New York Yankees and number 1 for the MLB is Don Mattingly, but I think Mattingly might be tied with somebody else. I'm not too sure, but he's at 8 games consecutive. So if Judge got it today with 2, if he got a homer in both doubleheader games, which seems unlikely, he would have tied it. Yeah, he would have tied the record.
Okay.
But I don't know if he did.
Yeah, so it's just like when you think about that, it's crazy because I mean this guy is still young. I mean, he's still in his prime years, and so personally for me, that's why I feel like he is the face. This guy gets so much respect as a young guy. Year 1, year 2, he was getting so much respect as if he was a vet. And I literally thought this guy was a vet. And I look him up, and I'm like, this kid he's in his early 20s. Are you kidding me?
He could have played football.
Like,
He's a good tight end.
He was a football player too. I think I heard once. I don't know how true.
There's a picture of him too.
Yeah, man. And so I don't know. I fell in love with him, honestly. And I just feel like he's the face, man. Like he's gonna be a face for a while too.
He wasn't performing well at first in his rookie year. Right after Alex Rodriguez retired, they called up him and I think Tyler Austin.
And Greg Bird and Gary Sanchez. And Aaron Judge was actually the worst one of that quartet.
Yeah, he hit like 198. Like he was not hitting good. And then the next year he took the league by storm. I never forget watching, like, it was around, like, draft time in the NFL. I remember I was at my friend's house, and I was watching the Yankee game. And I remember, like, they were down, like, 9-1 against the White Sox, I believe. And he came back, and, like, Aaron Judge was kind of their rally tie to win it. And, like, he came at bat at the last inning, and, like, I thought he was going to hit a home run. Like, I just felt that energy. And I was rooting for them. And then I think it was Todd Frazier or, like, Luke Vogt that hit the game-winning home run. And I was like, wow. But I thought Aaron Judge would have that type of power to walk it off. So that's when I kind of had that Aaron Judge type moment. I'm like, wow, he's pretty good. 2017 was a good sports year.
Yeah.
And you just said that he was tied with Lou, and that is like a huge name.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people, Bill Dickey is almost the Yankees superstar that time forgot. He was the catcher before Yogi Berra and actually taught Yogi Berra how to be a better catcher. And he was that third piece to the Lou Gehrig, Babe Ruth, Bill Dickey trio that just dominated the 30s and the 20s. And, I mean, honestly, if you're looking at it objectively and not looking at it through a nostalgic view, Bill Dickey is probably the best catcher in Yankees history. Guy has 14 World Series rings as a player and a coach. I think that's a North American sports record. But just 14, I can't see anybody in any sport having more than 14. That's ridiculous. Probably somebody from like the 50s or 60s Canadians. They won like 10 straight or something. But I mean, NBA caps out at 11. Football caps out at like 6 or 7, however many Tom Brady has. 14. That is ridiculous. Between I think 12 as a player, and I think 14. I mean 2 more as a coach for the late 40s and early 50s Yankees. Bill Dickey was just a god.
Yeah, I mean, Derek Jeter has 5, Kobe Bryant has 5. I know this player, this is a pass rusher in the NFL. He played for the Niners and the Cowboys. Charles Haley, he has 5 rings. He won 3 with the Cowboys.
So,
he won 2
I'm actually going to look this up.
Adam Vinatieri, he won 3 Super Bowls. He's been to 5 Super Bowls. He won 3 with the Patriots. It's been the 6 actually. He won 3 with the Patriots. Then he won a Super Bowl with the Colts, and then he lost the one in New Orleans against New Orleans. And then he went to they lost to he was on the team when they lost to the Patriots. I mean, not when they lost to the Green Bay Packers. That Super Bowl in the same Superdome.
Yeah, this guy was bizarre because he was obviously like a lot of guys in the 40s that played baseball. He was drafted into the military, I'm pretty sure. And this is ridiculous. He was a player manager. And yeah, so he won a World Series in 1928, 1932, 1936, 1937, 1938, 1939, 1941, 1943, 1949, 1950, 1951, 1952, 1953, 1956.
Sheesh.
Oh my God.
That guy is a beast. So for Aaron Judge to be in a seventh ballot Hall of Famer just goes to show the point I will always bring up anytime I have the opportunity. Baseball Hall of Fame is ridiculous. Goes to show the kind of company that Aaron Judge is in. If he's being compared to the Goliaths of the New York Yankees, Bill Dickey, the original number 8, Lou Gehrig, number 4, the nickname the Iron Horse and the pride of the Yankees. If that's his company, dude's a god. Dude,
Oh yeah.
he's a god in pinstripes, and I love every bit of it. Mike Trout. I mean, the history of the New York Yankees and the Los Angeles Angels is radically different. Angels have one World Series win. I mean, Mike Trout, who's he being compared to in Angels history? Vlad Guerrero Sr. I mean, I love Vlad Guerrero Sr., but there's a huge difference between him and Lou Gehrig. You know, I mean, I don't want to sound crass. There's a huge difference between Lou Gehrig and Rod Carew. I mean, if the company that Aaron Judge is being put in conversations with, Reggie Jackson, Babe Ruth, very radically different than the Angels players, as I'm watching the Angels right now. But I just think that has to kind of be taken into consideration. And I understand big market, small market, this market, that market, but I mean that has to play a role. If the Yankees, if everybody could agree the Yankees are the most popular franchise in baseball, then obviously their best player should be in the conversation for being the face of the league. And I guess we're all pretty much in agreement that Trout, as good as he is him being the best player in the league. I don't think any of us have any argument with that. He's just not the most popular in the league. And that's okay. Tim Duncan was not the most popular player in the league by any means, but was probably one of, or if not the best, for about almost 20 years. Definitely a top 5 player from 1998 to 2016 every given year, but except when he was hurt in 04. But I mean, other than that, I mean, you see this in sports all the time. There's some guys that just don't have that it factor. And I mean, even in baseball going back, was Fernando Valenzuela the best pitcher ever? No, but he had that it factor that made him such a draw. And that's just it is what it is in sports. Sometimes the best people aren't the most flashy people, aren't the most well-known people. It's promoting. It's maybe this guy, there's something about him that stands out a little more. It just is what it is. People are mad to hear it, but it is what it is. Not everything's about stats. Not everything's about WAR. I mean, guys, get over it. It's Aaron Judge.
Yep, I agree.
I can confess.
And I think that's kind of it for baseball, right?
Yep.
What do you guys? I feel like you guys want to hear like who I would say would be a good face for baseball.
Of course.
Oh,
If
yeah,
it weren't, and then we'll move on because I feel like there's other stuff to talk about before we run out of time.
Sure.
I feel like a good player would be Jacob deGrom.
Yeah.
Am I right? Because he's the 2-time Cy Young Award winner, and he might be runner-up for third, potentially. And you've seen what he has done. He had a 1.70 ERA in 2018. Even without the Mets giving him that run support and him getting enough wins, he has proven time in and time out that he is a dominant pitcher in baseball. And I see you getting a phone call. I don't know.
Me?
I don't know. I heard a phone. Or maybe that's just me bugging.
Oh, I have this on the table, and there's a little spot on the table here. It's a fold-up table.
Head teacher was like, me?
If that's what you're talking about, if that's not what you're talking about,
Yeah.
I don't.
I feel like another face, you can make the argument that Garrett Cole could be the face. I feel like, or no.
I think Jacob deGrom is better. I mean, look, I think the whole who's better, Jacob deGrom,
You just say
Garrett Cole.
Jacob deGrom is better than Garrett Cole.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. Forget the pinstripes. It's clearly Jacob deGrom. I'm not, I love the New York Yankees, but there's also a part of me that's objective. I'm a baseball fan first, then I'm a Yankee fan. Dude, it's so obviously Jacob deGrom. I was talking about this with some of my buddies from work. Most of us are Yankee fans. We all agreed, yeah, obviously in public you have to say it's Garrett Cole, but it's Jacob deGrom. I mean, you can't let Met fans know that it's Jacob deGrom, but it's pretty obvious Jacob deGrom's the best pitcher in
can't
baseball.
go wrong with that, no.
And people are going to say, well, Sonny Gray's ERA this year, Shane Bieber's ERA this year. Guys, they're going up against the Central divisions. The Cubs were a disaster the past 2 years, and they're raking right now. The Central region teams are just not good. There's a huge difference between the Detroit Tigers and the New York Yankees. I mean, the Red Sox are playing abysmal. The Orioles are abysmal. The Rays are off to a bad start. The Red Sox are abysmal. The Marlins are abysmal. They'd shut down any team in the Central right now. I mean, let's call it how it is. Those teams suck. All right. I would hope that they have a low ERA. Those guys are coming to the plate blindfolded. Okay. But Jacob deGrom is the best, man. It is what it is. But also, I think a face of a league has to play every day. I think historically, trying to think of a pitcher that was the face of the league, I can't really think of anything. I guess maybe the closest that you kind of get thinking back would be Pedro Martinez. Not even Roger Clemens, I think, was the face of the league. Randy Johnson, I'd put in there. Nolan Ryan, I'd put in there. Bob Gibson, I'd put in there. But I think that's kind of it. Tom Seaver was very popular, but face of the league popular, I'm not too sure. But, I mean, maybe he was, because even my mom said that, Tom Seaver was the truth growing up. And she doesn't even really follow sports. But she always brags about having a Tom Seaver card when she was a little kid. I mean, maybe he'll be put in there, but I think to be a face of a franchise, you got to play every day. You got to be Ken Griffey Jr., Willie Mays, Lou Gehrig, Mickey Mantle, all those boys.
I feel like it covers baseball, definitely.
Yeah, I think we got it pretty signed and sealed.
Let's talk about football quick before we run out of some time.
Oh, you want to talk about NBA?
I feel like, NBA, I feel like it's more important right now.
Okay, so a lot of stuff going on in the NBA. LeBron James just clinched the yesterday or 2 days ago. Clinched the first place, number one seed in the Western Conference. I don't think anybody was surprised by this. We have Lapdance Lou missing from the Clippers. We have Montrezl Harrell missing from the Clippers. We all knew they were going to win. The fact that it's only by 2 points is a little shaky, a lot of analysts are saying, Stephen A. Smith most notably. But I don't think anybody was surprised by it. I personally don't have too much stock in it. I don't know what your two's take is, but I mean, I think we all knew that this was going to happen.
Yeah, I agree. Because did you guys watch the game against the Clippers and the Lakers? That was a very good game.
I could not, but I saw some of the highlights. It did look like a very good game.
Yeah, it was a pretty good game. But yeah, I agree with you, Dennis. Like, the Lakers look very good, and they don't look like they're going to slow down anytime soon. So it would just be interesting to see how far they can go. I mean, they have a very good squad. So them and the Clippers, honestly, I feel very confident in both of those teams. Those are going to be the teams to beat, in my opinion. So I don't know, man. It's just interesting to see. But, I always have to throw in my team in the mix.
I think the
because
Lakers are. I just think the Lakers are still dominated. Dominant as they are, and I think they're my prediction to probably win it. And hopefully LeBron gets his MVP as he deserves because he is the king and he played like a boss. He's still playing like a boss, and I think we all can agree on that.
Yeah, but we'll see how they stack up against the 3-0 wonders, my Phoenix Suns. Everybody said I was crazy for staying with them in the bubble, but guess what? That bubble just got a whole lot hot. Suns hot.
Booker.
Is that cringy enough for you?
Booker.
Oh, D-Train. Oh my God, D-Train.
But yeah, I mean, still think the Clippers are going to win the West. I still think the Suns are going to win the West.
Did you just kill a fly?
I just
Did
went
you see
after
that?
it was a mosquito.
You see that? Yeah. Oh my God, that's a good moment.
Los Manos are clean, but
Oh goodness.
I don't know. We'll see. I got into a pretty brutal fight with a firefly the other day.
Firefly.
Conquered it.
Damn, look at you.
Conquered it. Like the predator.
Show that firefly.
Yeah, I see the fireflies in the in like the thermal camera from Predator. Yeah, heated battle. Hey man, I'll give him respect though. I got him with the paper towel. I thought he was done. I put him on the counter. Opened the trash can. We have one of those the trash can in the cabinet. I see the light go on from the paper towel. It was like something out of a horror movie, fellas. It was like something out of a horror movie. So he got one good scare in before he left. He was a very formidable opponent, and this is getting weird now. So back to basketball.
Oh man.
But yeah, it's just crazy.
Ooh.
Just watching just SY.
I
Is
just
it on?
wanna say that everybody was talking mess about the Rockets playing the Mavs, and we beat them. So
Yeah, good up on you guys, man.
and the Bucks, we beat them too. So people need to put respect on our names.
Yeah, dude. Luka Doncic has been on a tear, but he's still losing games, man. He lost to the Rockets, and who did he lose to?
The Suns. Oh my God.
We're unstoppable, man. Dude, I knew it was gonna be like this. Dude, the first 8 games of the NBA season, guess who the number 1 team in the West was?
The Suns. Gotta love it.
Everybody makes fun of the D train. Dude, the D train's a prophet. You guys don't understand. I'm gonna take you back to 2018, 6-period math class.
Yep.
I told everybody the number 1 overall pick in the NBA draft should be Luka Doncic. Everybody laughed at me. D-Train, you're crazy. Dennis, you've lost your mind. You've lost your wits.
I remember in that class, Mr. Murphy even said to you, he was like, yo. Like,
Let's
Dennis.
fast forward. Maybe we should have let the Suns fan talk about who the Suns should have drafted. I love DeAndre Ayton. He's great. His comp was it was David Robinson. Do I agree with that? We'll see. But, I mean, guys, I'm a prophet. It's just what I do. I just make these stellar predictions. Can't wait to see the Suns win the NBA championship this year, led by Ricky Rubio and Devin Booker. Can't wait for 10 years. Kyle Lewis, face of the MLB. Everybody's gonna be talking about nobody saw this coming. Somebody did. My third eye. They call me Tian Tui. For those of you that are Dragon Ball Z fans, got that third eye. And,
Dennis got to be stopped, man.
That was like the group chat this morning. I woke up. That's one of the first things I saw. I was like, God, text this to the lad.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God. I can't with Dennis today. Dennis has been on a roll all day. I swear.
Reese McGuire.
Oh my goodness. Hey, no, but I'll tell you guys something. Everybody was hyping up, Zion Williamson. And honestly, I feel like John Morant has been the most entertaining rookie this far.
Really?
So That's just my honest opinion. That guy's going to be a baller for a very long time.
Yep.
He's so entertaining to watch. I love watching John Morant play.
He reminds me a bit of Penny Hardaway. Do you guys
right?
get that comp?
Hardaway.
Yeah, he does. He definitely reminds me of Penny Hardaway. That's crazy.
That's a big comparison. Penny Hardaway. His shoes are pretty good. I remember his foam posits. They used to be the big thing when I was like getting shoes. When I was a sneakerhead. I still collect like good sneakers to this day. I mean, I don't know. You guys seen some of the Jordan Heat that I wear at school?
Oh yeah, Brandon got the heat, man.
Dude, he's
I caught these. Maybe you guys see. I caught these LeBrons. These were cheap. These were like $169. I got them as a present for like $100. I'd like to thank Dick's Sporting Goods. Maybe not. That was Foot Locker. I'd like to give out a shout out to Foot Locker. So if you're looking for those shoes, I would definitely go to Foot Locker.
Dude, anytime I go to Foot Locker, I see nice shoes. I'm like, hey, man, do you have this in my size? They're like, well, what's your size? Tell them 14 men's, and they just go, bruh. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Got the boots.
Yeah, dude, my brother's a 15. He's a size 15. He's walking around with freaking lake canoes on his legs, man.
Huge, right?
Dude, you got to order all
got
that
the
online.
boats, and your brother has the canoes.
But it's the two brands that are big fella certified that I recommend to any of you big boys out there. Ewing I recommend, and Vans. Vans, dude, Vans are so comfortable for big boys. I love it. I can't get enough.
Ewing, yeah, I know Ewing sneakers. Like he has like those sneakers are huge. Looks like something you'd wear in the 90s.
Yeah, but dude, they're so comfortable. I can't get enough of
really?
them. Do you remember, buddy?
I've seen you
do
wear them.
you remember the red and white ones I used to wear?
No, but
I used to wear them quite a bit.
Having them. I feel
Don't
like
you wear Chuck Taylors too?
Sorry?
Yeah, I've seen you wear. I think I've seen you wear Chuck Taylors too, right?
Me?
Yeah.
No. I
You
wear
never worn Chucks?
No, I don't think I have. I'm not really sneakerhead. I've worn a lot of Adidas. I wear a lot of Adidas. I have a pair of blue and black and white Nike high tops that are really cool. And DC, I have a black and gray pair of DC sneakers. I'm looking at them. Those are pretty cool.
Your best bet would just to be bomb offline, bro.
That's what I do now, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to find shoes like that in the stores.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like we should cover some NFL quick.
Yeah, we got to get through this.
real quick. I got something very interesting that I want to talk to you guys about. It covers like all sports. Okay, so how much you guys are New York fans. So how much do you think your franchises are worth?
I think I know my franchise, the Jets, is definitely worth $2 billion.
You said the Jets?
The Jets. I know the Mets are pretty up there. The Mets are pretty much a worthy organization. They're high up there with the Yankees.
I think the Knicks are $3.3 billion, right?
Close.
4
All right, so these are the most valuable.
I know the
franchises.
Yankees are only behind the Cowboys, I think, which, in my opinion, is ridiculous. If baseball,
oh, Dennis, I don't know, man.
Dude,
I don't know.
If baseball had a salary cap, there is no way the Yankees would not be number one. There's no way the Yankees would not be number one.
But Dennis, you have to understand the way that the Cowboys market themselves is completely different than the way that the Yankees market
Dude, they're
themselves.
marketed with a freaking star. They don't even have a logo. They have a star.
They still worth a lot of money, though, Dennis. So, I mean, it works for them.
I think, you know what this is? That's Jerry Jones. That's Jerry Jones cooking the books.
Damn.
I mean, I don't know. So, okay, I'll give you guys the most valuable franchises. Number one is the Cowboys at $5.5 billion. Your Yankees, number two at $5 billion. So you're just 0.5 away, man. You're just 0.5 away. So y'all there.
Imagine buying an organization for that kind of money. What's that Scrooge McDuck type money? That's
D-Train. That's D-Train money. Not even D-Train money.
That's D.
When I go to Sunday Mass, that's what I put in the basket.
Oh, D-Train, you got that much money, man. You can donate to the Joshua Foundation,
Holy
man.
Spirit.
I put that in the basket.
Listen, I'm always open some extra money, Dennis. If you
The,
ever
the,
have
whole, the
some
Holy
extra
Spirit
money,
tells me. The Holy Spirit tells me, oh, you got bank.
the Holy Spirit is telling me that you
Yeah,
can
the
win
Holy
some of that
Spirit
money towards me.
The
Yeah.
Holy Spirit is definitely with you indeed if you give him $5 billion.
Dude, if you have that much
Yeah.
money, man, you don't even need to be in school, honestly, dude. Like, just start your own business, man. Just be your own boss, start your own business, and you don't gotta no more
$5.5
school for you,
billion
man.
dollars, dude. Get a nice house. Don't even work. Don't even get a job. $5.5 billion. I'll make that last.
Just start your own
I'll make that
business and
last.
let people work for you, man. You don't gotta do nothing, like, you know. Keep stacking up that bread. But yeah, so number 3 is the Knicks at 4.6 billion.
Ooh,
The Lakers at number 5 at 4. Well, they're at 4.6 too. So they're tied for 4th. The Warriors is number 6 at 4.3. The Patriots at 7, 4.1.
Really?
The Giants at $3.9 billion. And that's kind of like the most valuable franchises. And then like the average NFL team.
What about the Jets? Can you find the Jets?
The Jets were number 10, I believe, at like $3 billion, I believe.
Yeah, because New York is a big market, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like they're worth. You know, they sell. You know what I mean. Even if you, you don't ride with your team, I mean, they still sell. I mean,
my Devils are probably
so that was just like
150th.
150th.
I could probably buy the Devils with a ham sandwich.
The average NHL team only makes $25 million. That's average.
That's easy. Win Survivor a couple of times. Own the Devils. Wow. New Jersey D-Trains.
Yeah, that's just the average. 25. Yeah, there you go. You got 5.5 billion. There you go. Buy an NHL team. You got $5.5 billion, right?
Perfect. I could just buy all the NHL teams. Why buy one? Buy them all.
I mean, hey, you can
and
buy
then
the
rig
whole
games.
You can buy the whole franchise, man.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm watching hockey now. Thank God. Thank God hockey's back.
I'm actually I want to check the Sabres game real quick. Was it this? Dude, I don't know. I think it was Penguins and Penguins and Canadiens. Canadiens are winning. Why? No, I don't care. Cortana, leave me alone. Sorry about that. Canadiens are winning 4-3 right now.
That's pretty cool.
Woo woo.
Sorry, I guess I'm gonna talk about some opt-outs quick for the next 5 minutes. Then I think the biggest. What do you guys think of the opt-outs and the opt-out deadline? What's your guys' reaction to all the players opting out of the NFL season?
I mean,
what does it make
you
looking like in the NFL?
Honestly, I don't see an issue with it. You know, obviously, family is very important to a lot of these players, and they want to make sure that their family is safe. I mean, so and then you got to understand a lot of these players have kids. You know, and how you're supposed to go home to your kids, you know, when you're playing a game that involves a lot of physical activity, you know, so it's a lot. So honestly, I honestly applaud these players because it's hard, you know, deciding whether to stay at home with your family or, you know, play, you know, your dreams as a kid. You know, your dreams as a kid is to, you know, play professional ball. You know, so that's a very huge step, and I applaud a lot of the players that, you know, decide to put their families first. I think the NFL did a great job giving them, you know, time to think it through. You know, we earlier in previous shows we said how we don't know if they're like too serious about what they're doing. But I'm happy to see that they're actually making very good steps. A lot of the NFL organizations have had a lot of updates in their facilities. I know the Texans, they made their whole office now, like when you walk into the building, it's all facial recognition. So there's no touching doors, there's none of that. They also have like an app where players can order their food, and their food, they basically get like a meal prep. So as soon as they walk in, their food is there. They grab their food, they go. You know, so it's limiting touch. So a lot of teams have put in a lot of different things. You know, and I feel like this is what we wanted. You know, the sureness of like what exactly are you gonna do to stop the spread of COVID as much as you can. So that's very interesting. I could say for the Houston Texans, we haven't had any positive cases as of right now, so that's very good to hear. So yeah, I mean, I'm very proud of the NFL and how they're handling this now. Because at first I didn't have any hope of the season being able to be played. So, you know, I'm very excited to see that they have some sort of action in plan. So yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you basically like summed up my question. I feel like what do you guys think? Like with all the players opting out, what do you guys feel like that makes like in terms of like what do you think the status and the confidence in of having the NFL season then? If all the players are opting out, what do you guys think the status of the NFL season would be? Like, you know what I mean? Like they have affect the confidence level of there being a season.
I mean,
I know, right? Like, you know what I mean? It's like,
I don't even know. I felt like baseball was slow, but I feel like everybody knew like at the end of the day, I think everybody knew there was going to be a season, and at least a little bit of no. Why did? Wow. At least a little bit of some games and whatnot. Everybody, there's guys opting out, but there wasn't really a whole lot to start off with. I mean, I think the biggest names were Nick Markakis, who's now opting in, Ian Desmond, Freddie Freeman was on the fence, but he chose to go play after he recovered from COVID. Yoenis Cespedes recently opted out. David Price opted out. But I really don't know if I'm missing too many other guys that opted out. Obviously, there's been players that have gotten COVID, but that's only like 5 or 6. I think maybe Felix Hernandez might have opted out or got hurt or something. But like overall, there's been most guys haven't. Lorenzo Cain recently opted out, decided he's done. But I mean, that's not really that's less than 10. Definitely less than 10. So
really,
I'm a little more comfortable with like baseball. Basketball, I think the biggest opt out was Avery Bradley, who's a role player on a title contender. That's not really a household name. Avery Bradley's a great player. I'm not trying to take anything away from him, but it's it's not like it was some superstar player.
right.
NHL, I don't know of any opt outs, but I'll be the first one to tell you I don't follow it too closely. But it seems like the NFL has overwhelmingly the most opt outs and the most big name opt outs, right? Dante Hightower is a pretty big name. He's a pretty good defenseman. And for him to opt out is very it's a little nerve-wracking to see him be the first opt-outs. And then you have almost half the Patriots team opts out, or at least half their defense opts out. You get other guys opting out or whatever. It seems the whole thing is very bizarre. I also understand teams are 55 players, right? In football, 55, 54.
Yeah, they bumped it up to 55, I believe.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting there to be the most opt-outs total just by the law of averages. There's also 32 teams in NFL.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm expecting by the law of averages to have the most, but this much I was not expecting. It's very bizarre, and we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how it's going to handle. As of now, there's no news on a bubble that I know of. I know Buddy has an interesting idea for the bubble that we'll get to. Of course, I'm missing something.
Yeah, actually, the NFL, NFLPA, they all agreed that there's going to be a bubble.
Really?
No bubble for 2020 NFL season, and yeah, so I'm looking at it right now. But yeah.
Breaking news on Buddy live on Buddy and D Train. Breaking news. Was that breaking news live on Buddy and D Train?
No, this happened a while back. I just actually found it just now though. But this happened July 28th.
Okay,
But
we're
yeah,
late
they
to the
said
party.
that they was finalizing it, but they were saying that they weren't gonna do a bubble. And I mean, honestly, I can see why. There's just way too many people involved. You have coaches, you have training staff, you have players. I mean, you got 11 on defense, 11 on offense. You got your second string, third string, maybe practice squad. It's just too many. I feel like it's too many people involved. To try to do a bubble, it'll be harder. I mean, basketball, you got 5 on the court. I mean,
Yeah.
it's easy. It's easier to bubble, basketball. MLB, it could be possible. But NFL is just too impossible. You have too many people around to try to do a bubble, in my opinion. I mean, Buddy did come up with it would have been a great solution, I feel. But I just think because of how many people it is, that it makes it harder, especially you're talking about football. Like, you would have to hold a lot of people. And then you have to think about all the people, like the staff, like the people that cook their meals. I don't know if in baseball or whatever, I don't know if they do that or not, but I know in football, they have people that cook the NFL players' meals while they're at camp and stuff like that. And that's just way too many people. And those people would have to go home. And so it just wouldn't work, in my opinion. And I guess that's why they didn't approve of it. But they were in talks about doing it. They were going to try to, but I guess they just decided that, no, it's not good enough for them. So, yeah.
Yeah,
I think before.
dude.
Do you guys want to hear I gotta go though soon before.
Oh yeah.
I want to pitch
Yeah,
you guys.
go ahead.
So now, hold on, my friend's calling me. Hold on, I just gotta. So I was so my idea was that's what you guys. So I was thinking that there'd be 3 locations or maybe 2 locations of a bubble.
Mm-hmm.
And I would think that you would play a Saturday and a Sunday, 3 games, going back and forth, maybe on a Sunday. On a Sunday, and then Monday you would have 3 games, and then Thursday or Saturday, and then you got 12 games. But I'm saying, like, you would have 3 different games separate in the same stadium going on. That was kind of my idea that I told.
Now, are you proposing like a regional thing, like baseball's doing, that only teams from certain regions will play each other, or just all teams traveling back and forth?
All teams traveling back and forth. Because the NFL schedule is weird as it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like baseball.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I think that will make it tough.
But I think they were also talking about cutting out non-divisional games as well. I don't know how
That's what I meant.
far-fetched they are about that. But yeah, they're definitely thinking about that. They were saying that to, minimize as much travel as they can, that they were thinking about maybe, I guess it just kind of depends on the number of tests they keep getting. But yeah, they were saying that they might just do it where it's just you just play people in your division and then playoffs. So I don't know how far they are into talking about that, but it was something of discussion with all the like owners and head coaches and stuff like that. So that's just something to keep watching, I guess. They haven't really spoken much about it as of right now, but as of right now, everything stands like as if Corona didn't happen and the regular 2020 season will be played. But yeah, they're definitely in talks about what exactly they might do, because all I know is if it starts getting bad, I don't like as of right now. I don't feel too like I'm comfortable that they will start. I'm not too comfortable that the NFL will actually finish. As of right now, it's just It's just crazy. I don't know, because you would have to, because they get that freedom to go back home. It's not like the NBA where you're in quarantine 24/7. They can go back home, and you don't know what they're going to do in their personal time. So that's kind of what worries me about the season for the NFL. So
That's what I was about to say. Is football? Obviously, there's way too many people to feasibly do a bubble the right way. But at the same time, too, let's call it how it is, folks. Nobody's really accusing NFL players of being the brightest bulbs on the Christmas tree, and they're not known for being very responsible. So I'm very, very, very concerned about the amount of positive tests
Yeah.
that's going to come out of here. And I don't know what's going on in the Canadians game, but this is bizarre. I don't. It looks like some kind of a controversy.
I feel like we got
Something going on with the Penguins bench right now.
I feel like we covered a lot on today's show, especially we talked great stuff.
I think real quick, I think the only thing we have to say is go Islanders. Hopefully they can seal their season. Hopefully they can seal their series. And RIP the Rangers.
Yeah, rest in peace to the
They'll be
Rangers.
missed. God
and
bless.
Hope they do better next season.
Better luck next season with my Devils. What are we going to see? Last minute of the Penguins game. Dude, this is a wild, wild, wild game right now. Playoff hockey, man. There's nothing better than playoff hockey.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's incredible.
Man, I forgot. Dude, I don't know what y'all are going to do in your Jets, man.
What? Let's see how CJ Mosley? Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. But we got Avery
And
Williams.
I don't know what y'all going to do with your Giants either, Dennis. Because DeAndre Baker not going to be playing soon.
Yeah.
No time soon. And then y'all other defensive back, he just opted out. So y'all looking slim DBs, man.
I weep.
It's tough.
Yeah.
That doesn't stop our potent offense led by Danny Dimes.
Danny Dimes.
Listen, I'm a fan. No, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Danny, man.
I like Danny
of Mr. Daniel.
Watch out for the turnovers. I'm a fan of him.
Mr. Daniel Jones, DJ. I'm a fan of him.
Game over.
I swear he reminds me of a young Eli Manning, man.
They look alike. Don't they look alike?
They look just alike. Bro, and it was funny because they put up something.
Father and son.
Like a video of them, and they were doing the same thing simultaneously. I swear. It was like the most funniest thing. Like, dude, this is definitely a little Eli. Like,
I would like to take this time to congratulate, because it just happened, the Montreal Canadiens on beating, oh my God, what a gnarly shot, on beating the Pittsburgh Penguins 4-3. Carey Price, the goalie, dude, he's been in the league forever, Carey Price. He's been there forever on Montreal, man. I remember back when I used to really follow hockey, 2012, 2013, 2014. Dude, he just killed my Devils, man. He was such a good goaltender. But congratulations on their win over the Penguins, and they moved 2-1 on the series, looking to close it out in the next couple of days. So, yeah. Anything else on the football front? Anything you guys want to talk about hockey or?
All I gotta say is that I hope everyone, from who's, was witnessing the storm that came here. I hope everyone is safe and hope everyone, hope the people that don't have power regain it soon and eventually and quick as possible. And that we all just stick together in this time where there's a million trees on the road. And I just hope everyone stays safe on the roads and drive safe. And, wear a mask. But obviously just with the storm that happened, a lot of people lost power. And there was a lot of trees that hit a lot of cars and just on the road. So everyone please stay safe.
Yeah.
And to all you people that do not know how to drive when the street lights are working, I advise you to please open back up your driver manuals, your 101 to driving class, because people, when the streetlights do not work, you stop like it's at a stop sign and then you go. You don't continuously go down the road like you have the right of way. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's all I would have to say. Thank you for listening to my PSA. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh, for that great PSA. From the Buddy D-Train Talk Sports Show and that PSA, I'm Buddy.
I'm D-Train.
And I'm Josh.
Thank you guys for a great night, and I hope you guys stay safe And thank you guys for a great show.
Take care, guys.
Take care.
Peace.